And Paige is one of those people that's kind of like, if you know her story or kind of found clips or heard different little people speaking on her, just she's one of them type of people who you just kind of love her character, you love her personality, and you kind of just, even if you follow her via TikTok or any of those type of pages, especially TikTok, you kind of would just really just get to see like, bro, she's a, I don't want to say a kid, but she's a kid. Like, she still do all the cool little TikTok dances, and she still kind of find like cool ways. I don't know if I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but one of her teammates was Muslim, and she was waking up and cooking breakfast for her during Ramadan, like before the sun, daylight break. Like, she was cooking for her teammate, waking her up and making sure that she ate before it was time for her to start her fast. Like, just one of those type of stories. And then for her to even have like the crazy ACL injury. And I think two things will make this Paige story even a lot cooler. One, it lets you see that it can be it could be light at the end of the tunnel, even for Juju. Like, both of them going realistically now have the same injury and will have to make that same fight back. And even her teammate from here, I want to say her teammate, what's her name? It's Azizu Fraud. I can't remember how you pronounce her name, but the young lady, she won the MVP of the game today. Her jersey number is 35. She was cooking. She's from Arlington. So, and that's why I kind of wish she would have came out this year, because I mean, well, hopefully, I don't know, she might even win number 2, but hopefully if she would have went number 3, the Mystics could have picked her up and she could have kind of stayed home and played at home. Because I do think the Mystics realistically do. I mean, they got Shorty from that went to Riverdale, but it will be kind of cool if the Mystics could get Shorty, because I think it just would be a good look to kind of have some DMV players on your actual team and kind of build around that for people who they already kind of maybe familiar with their game, familiar with their name. But again, going back to Paige, like, Paige is just one of them people. It's like, it's hard to dislike her. And I do shout outs to, I seen a couple of NBA players. I was watching the John Eton Thomas, I forgot whatever his name. He used to play for the Wizards. Mm-hmm. He did a piece on, I want to say, and all the like the crazy big news stations picked it up, because he did a piece basically sitting here saying it's crazy that white people kind of don't know how to be racist the right way. He was kind of making it like, damn, y'all so blatant with it and so kind of slow with it. Y'all couldn't even hide and just redo the thing, show up for Paige the same way y'all showed up for Caitlyn. And it was kind of just like y'all making it too obvious, where it's like, damn, you couldn't even like kind of like fake try to hide it a little bit. So I think that was one of the and that's one thing where I think even just for somebody like me, you kind of can't just like, Paige is one of them people where it don't like, it's gonna sound crazy, but it's just like skin color kind of don't matter for her. Like, she's just that cool. She's that great of a person. Like, in her personality is that bright of a person where it's like, I'm rooting for her more than Dawn Staley, because I'm like, bro, Dawn Staley gonna be back here another year. Dawn Staley will be here next year. Dawn Staley will be here the year after that. Like, this is the last time for Paige, and this is like, she is one of them people where it's like, she kind of was carrying the women's basketball before it was the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark moment, but she just didn't. They got to jump ahead of her because of injury. So it's kind of cool to see her be able to shake the injuries off, come back, and be at full throttle.
I think that's probably why a lot of people probably looked over her or even really didn't get in that hype, because UConn are known for putting out stars, and UConn been a winning organization for years.
For sure.
So I feel like, oh, it's just another UConn player. I feel that's probably how it's looked at as.
Yeah, but I get that part, but I think it's still just like, it don't matter if you like that style of player, you still like that style of player. Like, you can't make it like, perfect example, like even like if you was a Steph Curry fan, I wouldn't mind. If you told me you was a Caitlin Clark fan, cool, I get it. It makes sense, because those players have the same style. But you can't tell me you like Caitlin Clark and you don't care about Paige at all. Like, that kind of just don't make sense. They literally, and if we being honest, I would sit here realistically and tell you Paige is 100 times better, because Paige don't care. She's not demanding the ball. Like, she got it going on. She got it going on. She gonna click. She dropped 40. What was that? In the Elite 8. She dropped 40 in the Elite 8. But she took her foot off the gas the last 2 games. Allow her teammates to kind of do that.
That's why I think that's the difference. And I think that's probably why a lot of people probably fell in love with Caitlyn more, because like, all right, we don't even know who Iowa is. She's just dragging that team like it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Because she's on the UConn team, it's not like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was just like more of the, oh damn, where did this team come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that big of a, you know.
So you saying you giving people a pass and feeling like it was an underdog story? Like, they never heard of this school before?
Yeah. Because like I said, I feel like Paige was always been, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you on UConn, that UConn is a good team.
I could get it for somebody like you who really know basketball, but I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to give everybody who jumped on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon that type of pass. you actually know basketball, so you can sit here and you could tell you knew about Maya Moore before I did. I can admit I'm new. I've been watching women's basketball for the last maybe 3.5 years. So I'm not about to make it like I know about all the older players. Like I know about those players now. I know that Breonna Stewart and all of them went to Connecticut now because I'm getting familiar with their story now. But you're not about to sit here and tell me for all those miscellaneous people who was watching them games, I'm not about to sit here and say, oh, they just found the random ass school to root for, like, and that's why they liked her. I'm not gonna believe that shit because they don't know none of the backstories on none of the other good teams. I'm sure it's endless people who don't know that UConn had won. This their 12th jump. Their coach, this is his 12th championship he won. It's endless people who don't know that. So that's why you can't make it like, that's why I'm not going to go with the, oh, it's just because it was Iowa. Like, I get it. If women's college basketball was already OD popular, like how people don't like Duke, like I get it for the reason why people was geeking that Houston beat Duke yesterday. I understand that because it's Duke. Niggas know who Duke is. And you kind of were just like, they was putting the extra sauce on Cooper Flagg. Like I seen niggas say, oh, Cooper Flagg may be the greatest Duke player of all time. Like, damn, Grant Hill died?
Nigga, JJ Redick. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But that's my point.
But that's the thing.
But I think that's the same. But I think that's the same thing that Paige falls into because UConn is so established in the women's sport.
I would. That's what I said. I agree for people who actually was watching women's basketball like yourself. You actually know, but we can't make it like everybody been watching.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. So, but then who you really are? You're arguing with people who just started being fans. Then that's what I'm saying. When you say, well, you don't really know, or you don't. I'm saying, so you argue with somebody who just started being fans because they saw everybody else talking about it,
right?
Not actually people fan of basketball. So I'm saying for you to argue with them, it's like, all right, what am I arguing for? You're not really a fan.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, and that's right there. That's a great point. You're absolutely right. You cannot argue with people who are not actually fans or just becoming like that's almost just trying to like
because and that's why I say, but the difference between college people, more college fans are more loyal than NBA fans. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been riding with this team ups and downs. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Through thick and thin.
Of course. I guess my last take on the college women's basketball. This was a conversation that the people kind of been having via social media. And I think me and our younger brother I asked him the other week, if your daughter was playing college basketball, would you actually want her to go to South Carolina? Because let's be clear, again, kind of going to the same thing what you just said is, and to me is the difference is South Carolina is a great team, but I don't know if they make superstars. Because you kind of can put that under the same thing of like, if we was talking about, if we compared to, for people who not really familiar with women's basketball, we compared to other sports, they kind of like the Patriots, they kind of like the Spurs. It's like great teams, go and win championships, but it ain't really no superstar. Like you may get a superstar, like here and there, like you may get one, like how the Patriots got the crazy nigga who ended up going killing people. And so you'll get the Asia Wilsons, but then it's kind of like, you get Asia Wilson, and then you kind of like, what else though? They got a bunch of champions for as many championships. Dawn Staley got 3 championships now. So for her to have, and she'd have been to the jump, I want to say 4 out of the last 5 years. So even for that to be the case, is still kind of like, yeah, but
because
there's
always, I think I still
because she bigger than the program. She's like old school. She like old school college sports where it's like Dawn Staley, like niggas, because the same way even with some of them Duke teams or some of them Connecticut teams is like you here for the coach. It's not necessarily the player.
But I feel like even now, and that's why like even I keep saying like I don't understand why a lot of these players are even trying to go pros when the money is still in college now. Beforehand, I think that was more of the leverage where it's like, all right, we a winning organization. We go to but now I think it's more so, what deals can I get? Can I get a deal here? Can I get this deal? You know what I'm saying? What can you got to offer me? So I think that's probably kind of the playing field now. Yes, you can come there. Oh, we've been here 4 or 5 years in the championship, but damn, somebody like Maryland coming, they offer me, they got an NIL deal for $3 million. So I
get that, and I seen a lot of people giving that because that was when I was doing while I was watching the game. I posted it on Threads, and a lot of people was writing that back because the young lady I'm talking about who that played for Connecticut and she from here. I was like, damn, I tweeted what I said on here. I hope she come out so the Mystics can pick her up. And a lot of people like, oh, she going back, but she been in the jump just as long as Paige, but she had more injuries than Paige, so she hasn't played a lot of them years. Because I want to say I think she been at UConn. I think she been in 3 years. Yeah, she been injured she been there for 3 years. And I think this was her first full season playing. So of course she still got a bunch of eligibility, but then it's kind of like I don't necessarily know what everybody NIL money is besides the people Jones that they show. So of course, I mean, like the main people was like I told y'all, the white girl who go to LSU to do the gymnastics, and then after her it was.
Nah, I think a lot of people got NIL. It's just not.
No. But I'm saying I'm saying
a
lot of people get them, but everybody Jones ain't as big.
Yeah, but then that's why I say when I look at a lot of these things, I'm just saying why even like the dude from Maryland, I feel like you take another year in Maryland. And you still build you know what I'm saying? Like, you going to the NBA to go sit on a shitty team and don't get no playing time. You fall away.
You talking about the young from Baltimore?
Yeah. I wouldn't take that because, like I said, I seen a graphic last night. It was a dude. I think he's from Tennessee. He played for Tennessee. He got a $3 million NIL deal. And then it was a dude on the Phoenix Suns playing his first game, but he been there the whole season. He only getting paid $300,000.
But I think the only difference between the men, the reason why I disagree with the men part is because I think realistically for him, I mean, it's a weak draft. It's Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, it's a weak draft.
It's Cooper Kupp. And then it's the other young. What's the young name? Amani Bailey or whatever his name is.
It's a weak draft. But look at my man from North Carolina State, big boy that was last year. He was killing in the tournament, but he's not even on the team right now.
Yeah, I think that was just because of his size. Though.
But that's what I'm saying. But how you might? That's what I'm saying. For you to just sit here and jump straight, this your first year, and you just jump out there and you play in the pros and you don't even develop or your skill set don't fit the same.
I mean, of course, but realistically, a lot of times it's the money thing, and that's the sad thing.
But I get, but I feel like, but you're getting the money now. You're getting the money now.
I'm listening. I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I said, I don't necessarily know
what his NIL thing. Like if his NIL, like I would agree with you. Like if he was doing what Cooper Flag was doing, then I kind of get it. That's what I'm saying. So when you say NIL, and that's why when people always push back with the WNBA, like the shorty from Notre Dame, she transferring from Notre Dame and she gonna stay in college another year. She was supposed to be projected to be the number 2 draft pick, and she was like, "I'm cool. I'm gonna stay in school another year." And I was kind of like. I get everybody say NIL, but if your NIL not about to be like Flaujays or Juju or how like Paige was, like it's a difference. Like them, they got actual real commercials. Like it's not just some miscellaneous.
But I meant to send you the video. It was a video with it was like some college players, football players, and they was asking everybody, "Oh, what you spend on your NIL deal?" If you listen to the video and what they bought their first deal, what they bought on it, Rolexes, fucking scat packs, and all this shit. And these are football players. These not even the star players. And they bought that. That's what I'm saying. In college, you get taken care of.
No, you're not paying for shit. But of course, but we can't. I mean, at the same time, you still can't. I mean, some of the basketball players you can compare to football players, but some of them when we talk about NIL and you're talking about the money that really get boosted into them college programs, I don't know if the basketball is the same as the football. Shit, look at the white boy. He getting $10 million to go to Miami the next season.
Right, $10 million. That's a lot.
That's my point though. But that's him. Ain't no basketball player about to get $10 million.
But listen, but I still think, like I said, you getting taken care of and you not having to work or even spend. I feel like, dog, I'm not saying college enjoy college life.
I'm with you. If I was to me, because you're absolutely right. College is different. You get all the free clothes, you get all the free stuff. You really ain't got to put on no clothes, so you get to save money on buying clothes. I'm with you on that, and I can kind of even tie that in the difference before men and women when it comes to NIL and marketing. Just perfect example. Men are not allowed to do nothing without people dragging them to hell. Because we didn't talk about it. Because I'm not watching no nigga with his shirt off doing no routine. But I'm sure if y'all listen to podcasts, you heard everybody and their mother talk about that morning routine last week. But my whole point of it is a woman could do that and it wouldn't be a story. But it's a dude, and they was talking about the John on ESPN because I think he used to play college football or something. But my whole point of it is people was dragging him for it. People was trying to make jokes about it. People was redoing it and clowning him for it. But a woman can do, and that's the difference between why, even if we talking about why.
But that's why I kind of say when you say it's not no real money, but if you're attached to it like that water or whatever the case may be, let's just say he had a deal with them. Once everybody seen that and people start buying it, I'm giving you more.
No. That's what I'm saying. For him, yeah. But the thing about it, all I'm just saying is one, you got to have, as a man, you got to have extreme tough skin because. No, look how many. There's people trying to clown him last week.
No, I get it, but that's just like okay. Let's just use Queen for example. If Queen was to sit here and get an NIL deal from Dairy Queen or something like that, from something local around here, like you just advertise, like oh damn, you're more of a face in Maryland now. Oh, okay, let's put you on this. We put you on this. Like that's more money in your pocket. You go to the NBA, you ain't getting that shit. You're not getting those same deals as you would got if you were still in Maryland.
I mean, it probably depends on what team you go to.
What team? What I don't see. You ain't too many people getting on. And look at the rookie class. Like now, you still who is really getting?
But that's my point, and that goes to because men don't know. Men are not secure enough to do what to do with the morning routine.
But I don't even think it's still secure enough.
It is because how many niggas really gonna do TikToks? They killed Shorty from Philly because he was doing TikTok.
But yes, you still can do TikTok, but I'm just saying you're still not gonna be the face in the NBA. You're the face in college.
Of course.
You going to the NBA, you're still LeBron, still Giannis, still Ja, still everybody still in the league. They didn't leave the league. That's why I'm just saying, why would you leave from college where you are the face? Your commercial, your face is seen on March Madness and all this doing those commercials. But when you go to the draft and all that, they're not going to really talk about your face.
I agree with what you're saying. If you are not firm in using social media on your own. I'm with you. I agree with everything you just said. You're absolutely right. Why would I go to the NBA and the NBA is more focused on LeBron, Steph, and you got a long list of niggas that you have to get paused. You have to get behind 20 other dudes before you even get a chance for somebody to even think about you. You're absolutely right. I'm not disagreeing with you on that one. But with that being said, that's because most men think about you go follow. That's why I don't even follow no male athletes because they don't put the effort into building up their social media platforms. And that's why even when you talk about the crazy thing is the NBA gonna have to figure it out sooner or later, or just sit here saying 10 years from now, like if we just go off the trajectory of right now, 10 years from now, the two biggest basketball players is gonna be Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And it probably Juju and them because there's not no man. Like, think about what we talking about in the NBA. Like what we just said, it's still LeBron, Steph, but them niggas is in their 30s. Giannis and all of them, even fucking Joker, he in his 30s. So you're sitting here saying you're thinking about it because maybe internationally and just for some random diehard, you can be like, oh, Luka and this, that, and the third. But we talk about niggas that people actually popular and people talk about and arguing. Like niggas don't like Luka is cool, but niggas ain't really arguing. I'm not about to fight and argue and raise my voice about Luka Doncic. Like the way, think about the way people even to the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese shit was arguing like it's LeBron and fucking Jordan. So for them to be able to have that space. And I'm sitting here saying, if 10 years from now, if I'm going just off of longevity of men, what's the men 10 years? Because 10 years for them two gonna be in their early 30s. Both of them 22. So in 10 years from now, they're gonna be 32. Compared to who I'm going, what's the NBA nigga that's gonna be in his 30s 10 years from now? That we gonna compare it to? Jalen Green? What the fuck? He ain't more popular than even one of them right now. So that's my whole point with I think for men, but you have to be careful with allowing because men, that's the difference between with the women, they're not allowing the WNBA to be the only way they promote themselves. For the men, they kind of going what you just said, they're relying on the NBA. If the NBA ain't gonna promote me, then cool. I'm just gonna stay in line.
But that's why I say I would use college to develop myself, to get my name out there, to get more popular, to be the household name before I go to the league.
It get tricky. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I would stay to be the household name. You know what I'm saying? Before I get to the league.
And like I said, I guess so we can switch gears. So I don't want to. I know women don't want to hear about that all the time. But I guess the last little thing that we can kind of stay in just with the sports is, of course, I'm sure people have seen Ja Morant got fined $75,000 for doing a gun gesture. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of respect Ja Gangster because it was just like. He didn't have to do it the second night, but because he knew the night before it was a big story and people was trying to make it a big deal. I do think it's corny because literally just last week, me and Marcus was talking about the white boy who got the Instagram page who make the videos talking about people doing the gun jump. So it's kind of just like
that was college.
It don't matter. They still do it.
Yeah. But
they do it in NBA every night. Malik, what's his name?
But a lot of them do get fined. Like I said, people get fined, but I think it's more brought on to, like I said, once you start pointing at people and stuff like that, because I was just watching a video when they were saying the celebrations that are banned. And like remember when LeBron did the whole nut shit and all that? Like that's banned. You know what I'm saying? Like you got certain.
Let's be clear. And that's why I say I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the NBA. I do think it's corny just because I think because it's you're highlighting it because it's Ja Morant. Because you're absolutely right. Fucking what's my man name? Joel Embiid got fucking hit 50,000 for the DX jump.
Yeah. So like I said,
they do fine people for them Jones, but it's just still I think and that again it kind of can go just to social media because of course you're heightening it. And then all the blog pages and everybody going around with it and make it a bigger story because the Shade Room don't post basketball shit. But then when they pick certain chunks, Ja Morant got in, I see people, he need to grow up. But again, that kind of go back to the conversation what you just said earlier when we just talking about the Caitlin Clark. You can't argue sports with people that when they clear as day showing you they don't really watch sports like that. Because literally we just talked about last week. It's a little white boy, his page is lit on Instagram, and this is all he do is do reactions to athletes doing the gun jump after they score points. Now, did Ja drag it? Of course he did. I'm not mad at him for dragging it because like y'all on my dick. Somebody else did the same exact thing to me, and you mad at me for doing it back to him. But then it was Man, shout out to John Morant. I'm going for John Morant is in that category with Lamar Jackson and Angel Reese with me. I'm going to support John Morant until I can't support John Morant no more because he ain't done nothing. And for the way that I seen that video of that Sauce Walker shit, and they showing different angles. Hey, John Morant, I'm gonna celebrate you all the time, and nigga, I hope you stay strapped like you supposed to, because you cool in my department. Because nigga, that goddamn Sauce Walker video was insane, dog. Other angle that they got on that jump, oh my god. I guess yeah. Well, since I did bring that up.